I got to start. Have you been paying it before we get into to all the things that are Karen Reed and,
Sure.
and the whole trial and everything? Have you been following at all with this Jimmy Kimmel situation?
I've seen the same thing that you have. I've not been following it incredibly closely, but I know what happened. I heard the comments and I know what the aftermath was.
Kimmel says we hit some new lows. He was just doing a monologue. It was Monday night. He says we hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. Would you rather, if Jim, who would you rather represent if there was a trial? Would Team Kimmel or Team ABC or Nexstar?
ABC and Nexstar, without a question.
Why? Interesting, because the people seem to be outraged by anti-free, the anti-free speech of.
Well, some of the people are, obviously.
Yeah.
But I like taking on a challenge, and I love the idea of private companies doing what private companies are allowed to do. You get to hire and fire people. That's just the bottom line.
You don't think it looks a little fishy that they've got a merger going on and they've got to get FCC approval, and Trump has recently, taken money from ABC, from CBS. He's got a lawsuit against New York Times, Wall Street Journal.
Are they a private company? Did they take offense to what he said? Did they think that it fit the rubric of what their platform is and what it stands for? No, they didn't. So they're allowed to fire and hire who they want to. It's still a free country. It's still a private organization.
I will say this: there's one point about Nexstar, who owns 32 ABC stations around the country, that people have left out, and that is that one of their big stations, and a very profitable one, is KTVX Channel 4 ABC in Salt Lake City, where all of this sort of went down in that market. It's very conservative. It's largely Mormon, and I think their viewership is very pro Charlie Kirk. He's anything they've been and Trump, and so they've been listening to Kimmel's jokes for 9 years, and maybe this is where they decided it drew the line. The timing is odd, though.
Billy, I don't think for an instant that it was one station that prompted this or promoted this or was the driving force behind it. My understanding is there was 26 stations, 26 throughout the country that developed a little bit of a consortium for Nexstar and said, "Look,
26 out of the 32, yeah,
we're pulling it. We're not going to show it. We're going to go to alternative programming. We're pulling it, and that's not just, that's not some MAGA crowd. That's not the administration. These are privately run stations. They're privately franchised stations, and 26 of them got together and said that's out of bounds. It's off limits. Kimmel has a right to stand up and say what he wants to say. People say, well, this is an attack on free speech. Nobody's putting Kimmel in jail. Nobody's putting handcuffs on Kimmel for what he said. This isn't some country where you can't say what you want to say. He can say what he wants to say. Pay the price.
Just not on our air.
You got to pay the piper. He works for a private company. He gets a check.
You don't think it's at all a little fishy, the timing when you got a big merger, right? I mean, listen, Kimmel has said so much worse than that.
But there are straws that break Camel's back, right? Camel's backs.
Camel's backs?
Camel's backs. There are straws that break Camel's backs. And maybe that was it. I don't know. I can't speak for them. I don't know.
So if you were going into that courtroom...
I love the idea of a challenge. I love the idea of the public.
But people cheering in the streets for your side, because that's what you had with Karen Reed, and the people would probably be cheering... I guess it would be a bloodbath. Who knows? Well, depends. If it's in Salt Lake, no.
Yeah. Just wait. Right? It's all spinning, right? It's to a certain degree... The theater of the courtroom, the theater of litigation is who does a better job of mounting your defense or mounting your position, and I do a pretty good job.
I wouldn't mind submitting an invoice to Disney too, because
well, you would.
I'm wondering.
We probably wouldn't mind submitting an invoice to Kimmel either. He could probably pay the check.
Yeah.